I started playing golf around 5 years ago. It was nothing serious, just going out with a family friend who taught me the ropes. And at first, it was all for a laugh. We could go to the range and hit ball after ball, and if we were lucky, we might get a good hit every 15 swings. However, it didn't matter. It was peaceful outside, and it was just a vibe. Then it came to my senior year of high school when I really picked golf up. I practiced a lot because I was trying to make it onto my high school team. I was preparing for tryouts, and it was all looking great until I hurt my wrist the week prior. It was magnificent timing, wasn't it? Even though I didn't try out, I waited for my wrist to heal a little bit more and then I continued playing. I even started becoming pretty good, and I'm not gonna lie, I managed to break par a couple of times. But this is kind of where all my problems started. The better I got, the more pressure I put on myself to do better. Golf stopped being this fun little escapes and turned to this test of being perfect all the time. Every single round felt like I was battling a scorecard on my mental health the whole time. And to be frank, golf is hard, like deceptively hard. Most people think you just hit the ball, grab your clubs, and walk to the ball after it. But every shot matters, whether it be your grip, your stance, your swing path, the club choice, the wind, the slope, your mental game. Everything must be dialed in just to hit it somewhat straight. And sometimes if I could do all that correctly, I'd get a birdie. And unfortunately, that was not that time. Then came to my breaking point, and that was one blow up round. Literally nothing was working that day. My drives were off, irons were being chunked, putts felt like I was missing with putting with a blindfold on. And I wasn't mad, I was just frustrated. It was like the whole fun of the sport was just completely gone, and I just gave up on it after that. And after that one rough round, I didn't touch my club for months. I eventually started college, I got busy, and I was honestly fine with saying that golf is something I used to do. And I didn't miss it that much, and that was up until we read Nancy Mayer's essay. In her text, she talks about having a low adventure threshold, and even going out to lunch feels risky for her because of her struggles with agoraphobia. And then she says this single line: if I am to have an adventure too, then I must change the terms by which it is lived. And then there I realized maybe I'd been looking at golf the whole time. I was chasing that perfect scorecard, expecting every round to feel better than the last. But really, the adventure was there the whole time. I just stopped noticing it. And last week I finally went back out. It was me, my friend, and I, and no pressure at all. We didn't walk that day, but when I used to walk over the summer, it brought me back to how peaceful it could really be. In the round, I even managed to scrape together a birdie. The first round in months made it feel kind of poetic. And then there was this apple tree. It would always have these bright red apples on the tree, on the tee box next to hole 3. And we would always use our clubs to try and bat one down. I'd totally forgotten about it, but when I went last week, I made sure to grab one. And I'm only like 95% sure it was edible though. It wasn't the greatest thing I'd eaten, but it holds sentimental value to me and my friend. To be honest, the apple tree is part of the adventure. Not really my score, my shots, or performance, just that simple apple. And here's my big takeaway. Nancy Mayers talks about how adventure doesn't have to be equivalent to climbing up Mount Everest or hiking through some jungle. It's not always about these grand moments. Adventure doesn't have to be big, they just have to happen. And golf is my example of that. It wasn't all about breaking par every round. It was about showing up to the course, strolling on the cart path or down the fairways, getting the satisfying sound of hitting a pure shot, or even smacking apples from a tree. And honestly, after reading On Having Adventures, I realized that I was too focused on the score and missing the adventure in front of my face the whole time. Sometimes golf is frustrating as hell, but sometimes you may miss an easy putt or miss hit your drive so badly that you almost hit a house. And whether I did that or not is beside the point. All in all, you just have to get outside, be with friends, and have the small moments that make it all worth it. And I did have my blow up round a while back where nothing was working, and honestly, it was kind of heartbreaking, but it taught me an important lesson that golf is hard. If you think about the bare bones of golf, you're hitting this tiny ball with a bigger club, trying to get into a hole that barely fits your hand to get the ball back out of it, and it's across weird terrain with varying layouts. And at this point, if you don't believe me, here's my proof. I might as well patent the slicing it right from where I'm aiming. Golf demands focus, patience, and a lot of going easy on yourself. However, this makes the little moments of hitting a good shot or a perfect putt feel way more rewarding. So to anyone that has played golf or thought it was just for dads or never even heard of it at all. It doesn't have to be about competing to be the best and always making par. It's about the adventure. And this reiterates what Nancy Mayer said. If I'm to have an adventure too, then I must change the terms by which it's lived. Which means an adventure can come in all sizes, even around a golf that consists of playing badly. It's about appreciating the smaller moments of joy that the 18 holes on the course consist of. The shift in my perspective truly has rekindled my love for golf and reminded me of the adventure that I can find in every round. Thank you.